Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news now, folks, buckle up, because there are some serious rumors swirling around that could shake up the NFC North in a big way. The Detroit Lions are reportedly in the mix for a key move that might not only bolster their offensive line, but also send shockwaves through the division. We're talking about the potential acquisition of Talis Fuaga, a 22-year-old offensive tackle who's been making waves with the New Orleans Saints. If this deal goes through, it could be a game-changer for Detroit, especially considering how much they've been investing in protecting Jared Goff and building a powerhouse offense that can compete at the highest level. First, let's talk about the context. The Saints, sitting at 5-7 with a pretty leaky offensive line, allowing around 40 sacks so far, are in full rebuild mode. They've been making some tough decisions to free up cap space, especially with Derek Carr's $35 million contract, and they're prioritizing youth and future potential over short-term success. That's where Fuaga comes in. This guy, just 22, has already shown plenty of promise. He's played 9 games as a rookie, primarily at right tackle, and has been a bright spot on their line. His PFF grade overall is in the top 10 among rookies, and he's allowed 0 sacks in 450 snaps. That's pretty impressive for a rookie. His pass blocking is solid with a 78. 4 PFF grade, and he's demonstrated good run blocking capabilities, averaging 2 1-yards contact and 35 pancakes. Plus, he's shown resilience coming back from a knee injury in Week 6, and his performance against some of the top pass rushers in the league has been noteworthy, including a +1. 5 grade versus elite defenders like Hendrickson. Now, this isn't just about talent, it's about fit and potential. The Lions have been looking to solidify their offensive line for a while now, and with Sewell anchoring one side as an elite left tackle, they're aiming to make their front even stronger. The projected impact of adding a player like Fuaga? Well, it could boost the Lions' already solid protection, increasing their clean pocket percentage from around 68% to over 80%. That means Goff has more time to throw, more opportunities to make those big plays downfield, and fewer sacks taking away valuable yards and scoring chances. Detroit's run game is also set to benefit, with projections showing an increase from 142 yards per game to around 168. That kind of improvement can make a huge difference in close games, especially when you consider how much they rely on play action and Montgomery's ability to gain yards after contact. What about the bigger picture? The Saints, going through a rebuild after suffering a 5-7 record, are clearing cap space to retool their roster. They're prioritizing young quarterbacks and trying to set up a future that doesn't revolve around their current struggles. With Ramczyk retired and other pieces like their cap situation, they're making tough calls to stay competitive long-term. For Detroit, this is an opportunity, a chance to capitalize on a division that's opening up. The NFC North has been a tight race, but with the Packers still rebuilding and the Vikings struggling to find consistency, the Lions are in prime position to take a step forward. And speaking of the division, there's some buzz about how Fuaga could fit into the Lions' plans for the upcoming season. His addition would echo the kind of smart, strategic moves that have defined Detroit's recent offseason. They've already invested heavily in their offensive line, with Sewell grading out at an impressive 87. 4 overall, making him a cornerstone for years to come. Adding Fuaga would not only give them more depth, but could also serve as a future anchor, especially if Sewell continues to dominate, and the Lions want to keep that momentum going. It's about building a line that's not just good now, but dominant in the coming years, and Fuaga's youth and talent make him a perfect fit. The Lions' offense has been performing well, with Jared Goff throwing for over 400 yards and 20 touchdowns so far. Their run game has been steady, averaging 142 yards per game, but the potential to push that even higher with a stronger offensive line is real. Montgomery, for example, has been a workhorse, gaining 37, 2% of his yards after contact, and a better line could push those numbers even further. The team's third down efficiency has also improved, going from 37 2% to over 54%. That's a massive boost for any offense, especially one aiming for playoff success. The Lions are also benefiting from St. Brown running free routes, gaining an extra 1.4 yards per route, and Johnson continues to be a deep threat, regularly putting up 35-plus points per game. In terms of the bigger picture, the NFC North is starting to look more competitive. The Packers are still trying to find their footing, but with the Vikings struggling to put together consistent wins, Detroit has a real shot to take control. The addition of Fuaga could be the final piece that pushes them over the top, especially considering how much the league values a dominant offensive line. If the Lions can shore up their protection and keep Goff healthy and comfortable, they'll be dangerous come playoff time. And the betting odds reflect that potential. Right now, Detroit's Super Bowl odds are around plus 1,200, but with a move like this, those odds could very well tighten, making the Lions even more attractive for bettors and fans alike. Now let's talk about the division rivalry. The Green Bay Packers, with their sacks and aggressive defense, will definitely be a challenge, but adding a player like Fuaga could give Detroit an edge in the trenches, especially in those critical divisional matchups. The NFC North has always been about controlling the line of scrimmage, and with Fuaga potentially stepping in, the Lions could control the game's tempo even more. This move would echo the kind of dominance we saw back in the early 2000s with the likes of Backus and Schweitzer, establishing a blue-collar, tough-as-nails offensive line that can pave the way for success for years to come. It's about building that identity, that culture of relentless pursuit of excellence up front, which is exactly what Detroit needs to put themselves in the best position to contend. And of course, the fans are pumped. Everyone knows how much this team has been growing, and a move like this only fuels the excitement. The Lions are on the verge of something special, and adding a young, talented tackle like Fuaga could be the catalyst that pushes them into that next gear. With Goff at the helm, a solid offensive line, and a hungry defense ready to make plays, the Lions are setting the stage for a serious run. The NFC North is theirs for the taking if they keep building on this momentum. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think Fuaga is the right guy to help solidify that offensive line? How do you see him fitting into the Lions' plans for next season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Detroit Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. This team is on the rise, and with moves like these, the future looks bright. Let's keep that Lions pride roaring, and as always, go Lions.